What's going on, guys? It's Julian in the Vanilla Gorilla Kitchen, and today we're doing two videos. I'm going to show you how to make a simple egg noodle for our lo mein later tonight. So we're going to start off by getting a couple of ingredients. Big bowl, measuring cup, 2 eggs, a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of water, enough flour for dusting later. We'll go ahead and start measuring out the ingredients. So we need about 2 cups of flour. Now with flour, you always want to try to get as accurate as possible, right? So if it goes over, you can use a knife and then just scrape it flush. Right? So is that first cup. Here is our second cup. Right? Now, I'll only show you guys how to incorporate all of it, get it together, because it does have to rest a couple different times while we're waiting for just that gluten to relax and rest. If you over mix it, you're gonna have a very, very chewy noodle. Nobody wants a chewy noodle, right? So we got our 2 cups, plus some for dusting when we start kneading, which just means working the dough, getting all those strands together. So let's put that off to the side. We've got our eggs. Sadly, these aren't farm fresh eggs. These are store-bought. Had to do with what I had. Haven't been able to make it out to my sister-in-law's yet. So we're just gonna whisk these until they're all mixed together. What I like to do is I usually like to make a well, but I don't really like doing too much pasta by hand because it's, I don't want to say labor intensive, but if you got the gadgets to do it, it makes it all that much easier and better and more enjoyable for everybody that doesn't mind, you know, spending a few hours in the kitchen. So this only takes 20 minutes, you know, in the stand-up mixer. Hey everybody that's jumping on, we're making pasta. We're gonna make an egg pasta for our lo mein tonight. So that's our salt. This is our eggs. And dirty part, we're gonna mix this until it's pretty much incorporated, and then we'll slowly add our water. I've got a 1/4 cup back here. We may use it all, we may not, depending on the climate, humidity, and all that other stuff. It's really going to depend on if we're going to use all of that water. Right? Alright, so that's pretty much incorporated. And like I said, it was just flour, salt, and eggs so far. 2 cups of flour, about a teaspoon worth of salt, and 2 eggs. Right? So it's starting to get there. We're going to slowly add our water. Now, you can do the well method. Like I said, I usually use a stand-up mixer until it pretty much incorporates. And then I take it out and I knead it by hand from there. You can start pinching and pulling it and bringing it back so it starts bringing it together. Now, if it's too dry, that's when you know you need to add a little bit more water. Right? And we might have to add a little bit more as we go on. So it's really just keeping an eye on it, making sure we're adding enough. We need it. You know, if you get a little too overzealous and you add too much, you know, liquid, you can always add just a little bit more flour. But just be mindful about how much flour you use, because you've already accounted for how much salt you're going to put in it. Right? So let's add just a little bit more. We'll actually go to the tap and get a little bit more water. Like I said, you can always add. It's very hard to take away once it's in there. So little by little is your best bet. And like I said, I do like using the stand-up mixer for this portion because it just makes it easier, makes it quicker. All right, so let's go ahead and flour our prep surface, our little deck here. Go ahead and get all of this flour out. All right. And don't mind the Halloween bowl. It's just my favorite bowl to use. I've told you that, guys, before. So, and then if you hear pitter-pattering footsteps, that's my fat cat walking and running back and forth. Kid's upstairs cleaning his room. So I can only imagine the shit she's getting into. So, we're gonna start kneading this dough. So, this is the hardest part. You'll get a workout from this. Yeah. What I like doing is I like taking it, I like folding it over, and I like pushing it through. That way my weight is doing most of the work. If you just sit here and just do it nothing but with your arms, 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 your arms are gonna get really tired. So, like I said, we're making an egg pasta for our lo mein tonight. So, it's gonna be kind of the same ingredients that I used for our fried rice or not last night, but Monday. So, but with the addition of a little bit of ribeye. So, like I said, this is the dirty part, or the less glamorous part of making pasta. Now, I like to generally use a little bit more egg than this, but I already went to the store once. I didn't really feel like going again. So if it doesn't turn out like I like it, I'll actually scrap it and then start over and add more egg. It's starting to get a little sticky. So, and depending on how I like this pasta, well, like I said, depend on if I keep it or not. So I like to generally do 2 eggs for every 1 cup of flour, and then 1 egg yolk as well. So it just adds richness, adds fat, gives it a more tender pasta. So, like I said, when you do the stand-up mixer, this portion of it, you kind of get it towards the end. So, add a little bit more flour. But, like I said, if you got the tools, use them. If you don't got the tools, you're gonna get real strong. Like I said, we're making pasta for our lo mein. All right. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more flour. I haven't made pasta 100% by hand without a stand-up mixer in a long time. So, I can only imagine what it was like back in the day. motherfuckers out there rolling pasta and making croissants and doing all that stuff without air conditioning, without power tools. Makes you feel real Amish, you know? I need to get it right about here, and then kind of take off a little bit of that pressure on your arms, or washing my hands real quick so I can get most of this flour off. The only downside to working with flour, makes a mess, gets everywhere. If you drop it, you're cleaning it up for a week, because you just start finding flour in odd places. But it's worth it in the end. So I'm actually going to take my rolling pin. This is my granny's rolling pin. It's one of the few things I have of hers. So we'll just move it back and forth a little bit, and then we'll start folding it over. Like I said, this just helps take the pressure and the time down. So it's another form of kneading the pasta dough. Right. So I'm gonna form it into a ball, and then I'm gonna let it hang out for half hour to an hour. Divide it, roll it out, ball it up again, let it rest. And the reason you let it rest is so you don't overwork the dough. If you overwork dough, pasta dough, bread dough, you know, has the tendency, actually get this out of the way, has the tendency to be tough, you know. Now I want some toughness to this pasta that I'm doing, because we're making, like I said, a lo mein. So I want it to have a bite to it, because I want it to hold up. All right, so I want it to have some firmness. I want it to be, you know, on the same playing field as the ingredients. And some of those ingredients, like I said, we're gonna have some carrots, some broccoli, some bean sprouts, some baby corn, and onions for sure. Now you can put cabbage in there if you like. I love cabbage. I'm just not a big fan of it in my lo mein for some reason. Just depends, you know. But if you want to, just like we did with the bean sprouts, and like we'll do with the broccoli, and like we're gonna do with the snow peas, we're gonna blanch them, like I said, which just means 30 seconds in hot, salty water. We take it out and we shock it in ice cold water so it retains the color. Getting my plastic wrap. This is my least favorite thing to use in the kitchen. Can't stand plastic wrap, especially like when you get into a professional kitchen. If it tears, nobody gives a shit. You know, they have it all screwed up and, you know, mismatched and disproportionate. It's just one of those things. Glad got a free little ad there. It's just one of those things I hate fucking with. It sticks everywhere. Never clumps out, always clumps up, never sits real right? Like this. See, I hate this shit. But we gotta use it. And the reason we're doing this is because we don't want our pasta dough to oxidize, which means it's gonna turn color. It's gonna turn a dark color. Almost like dried blood. Like whenever if you ever cut yourself and, you know, you look at a paper towel, it'll turn that deep red rust color. Same concept as our dough. If we let air get to it, it will oxidize and it'll turn brown. And you know, it probably wouldn't matter too much in this setting, because the ingredients we're going to be using, soy sauce and oyster sauce and sesame oil, is going to be a darker color. But why waste all that time making your dough to not wrap it and let it get oxidized. What's going on, Chad? So that was, like I said, part 1 of 2 videos today. I may or may not roll this out with you guys. I might do it ahead of time. I'm trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done today so we can go and enjoy the beach tomorrow. And I know what you're thinking, man, you're a redhead. Yeah, my people don't like the beach. My people don't tend to do too well on the beach. We tend to wilt, but it's been really relaxing the last time I went, so I'm gonna keep that kind of positive energy going. So that's been it for today, at least for the first part. So check back again later today. I might do it a little early, might not, just depends on how I feel, how much stuff I can actually get done around the house. But I will be back later today to show you guys how to take this and turn it into lo mein. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.